allowing him to do.
Thank you very much. First of all, I wanted to tell you about this great affinity, respect, and empathy I have for writers, especially when I tell you in a few minutes about some of the writing experiences I've been through and the transitions. But I just want to tell you what a crazy week it's been. You never know what you're going to see or where you're going to be and how it's going to manifest into writing. You never know. You could be walking around the corner here in the parking lot and see the story of a lifetime. On February 18th of this year, I was interviewing Congressman Joe Setsack, who was running for the U.S. Senate, and at that time was 30 points behind in the polls against our own inspector. And I had a story that was floating around for a couple of months, and I decided to ask him a question. The question was very simple. Did the White House offer you a job to coerce you to leave the campaign against our own inspector? And much to my shock, he said yes. And when somebody answers a question like this, my adrenaline starts flowing. And I said, was it Navy Secretary? And he refused to answer. And I said, was it big? Or was it from the White House? He went on and on. And it started quite a controversy, and the controversy went away. And then when he won the election, the controversy zoomed to the front pages of the American newspapers, and everybody wanted to talk to me. So last week, I was in Washington doing some business for Comcast, and I received a phone call from the Sean Hannity show. Now, I know what the Sean Hannity show is about, and I know it's very hard-hitting, and to say it's right-wing is an understatement. If Sean were in the building right now, his right side would be tilting into the Delaware River. And he asked me to go on the air, and I was in Washington for business, so they put me on there on satellite. But I said to him, I said, now I want you to understand something. I am not going to offer my opinion. I don't do opinion, I do news. But he said, okay, so he went on the air, and because I said that to him, he kept saying 4 or 5 times, Larry Kane is a legendary broadcaster in America, and he doesn't do opinion. It was very nice of him to do that, because he was sort of protecting me. So I told the story, and that was it. Then the next morning, I woke up, did my work for Comcast, and I had put in a request with a friend at the White House to go to a reception that evening, on Wednesday evening, for Paul McCartney, who, as you know, is a friend of mine. And I didn't think I'd get it, because only the hottest ticket in town, in a room as big as this, the East Room of the White House, with television stuff and only 160 seats. And sure enough, at 2 o'clock, I got a call. You got a ticket to come to the concert. And the concert was with Stevie Wonder and Jerry Seinfeld and the Jonas Brothers, who I guess came for the Obama kids, and the president, the vice president, and all these people. And Dave Grohl was a big-time rocker, and Herbie Hancock and Faith Hill. It was pretty impressive. It was a great, great concert. And at the end of the concert, Paul came down from the stage and looked at me and said, oh, I can't believe it's you. We hugged, kissed, and talked about how great we both looked. And actually, he said to me, don't we both look, and I can't use the adjective, so-and-so great. And I said, well, speak for yourself. I think I look pretty good. And we had a good time. It was a really great night. But I was in the White House. And somebody came up to me and said, aren't you the guy who asked the Setsack question? And I said, yes. And most of them were pretty friendly. Somebody wasn't. And I had to remind them that this is America. And we asked questions. But it was a very lovely evening. But you talk about the confluence of 2 stories in your life. The Beatles, political story, political background, and all this stuff. And you never really know what's going to hit you. When I was at Channel 3 in 1998, I decided that I wasn't going to write a book after I left television. I was going to write a book while I was in television. I was going to talk about the 35 years that I'd been at that time, and I am in broadcasting 50 years now, 38 of them in Philadelphia. To figure that out, I did start, all kidding aside, when I was 16 years old in Miami. And so that's why I'm 67, and that's why I've been in the business that long. And I wanted to write a book about the people I worked with, the people I covered, paralleling my career. But I don't want it to be a book about me, and I knew the book had to be pretty honest, because, you know, fame is not what it's made out to be. And for those of you who are old enough to remember, when I was an early anchor here and I succeeded, I was sort of a teen idol of sorts. And I was very, very, very popular. And I couldn't go anywhere without people following me. It was crazy. And then I morphed into a little more respectful, and now I'm a senior elderly statesman. And that's the way it goes. You know, I had sons and grandsons and great-grandsons of people coming up to me and saying, I saw you as a child. And it's a strange feeling to go through generations of people. But I wanted to write this book because I really felt it would be good to tell the story of what it was like to be an anchor person, broadcast journalist, and